Welcome everybody to the third game of the Squid Game marble race, the Collision Brawl. In the show, you may remember this as the Midnight Brawl, where you remember it's midnight and it's an all-out brawl to reduce the number of players. Well, that's sort of happening in this with fighting, but luckily it won't be as savage as in there. This one, though, there will be 4 groups of 4 teams. Yes, the marbles will be working with their teams, and they go against each other, and whoever has the most marbles on the board wins. Starting things off with the Leaf Stormers and Strawberry Racer, like I said, working with all 5 members of their team. Every team will face every other team in there. So Strawberry Racer and the Leaf Stormers, 2-3. Then in the end, they get awarded points. Now, Iceberg and Black Diamond, as you see, quite a few of the Electron cannon marbles are released. This looks like a draw to me, although you see 2 down there, 1-2. A win is worth 3 points, a draw is worth 1 apiece, and a loss is worth 0. If you're in the bottom 2, then you go into a face-off where the bottom 1 is eliminated. Strawberry Racer versus Iceberg, and you see, that was a pretty good sweep by Iceberg. I think there's still 3 on the board for them. 1-4, that was very good. And quite frankly, Iceberg probably going to advance, but not to get ahead of ourselves. Black Diamond and the Leaf Stormers, and for now, I think Black Diamond will have the win. And yes, they will. Match 4, 2-3. Good for them. And tiebreakers between some teams will be broken by points difference, then points for Leaf Stormers and Iceberg. Oh, you saw a very hard collision, marbles going all over the place. But where will it end up? 2-2, so it's a draw. So in the points, 1 apiece. The final match, Strawberry Racer versus Black Diamond. Strawberry Racer needs a good result, and they're not going to get it. I only see 1 marble on the board for them. Well, Black Diamond, I see 3. We'll see if they did enough. No, it's not. 1-3. So we will now look at the results. So you see Black Diamond, 9 points. Iceberg, 4. Leaf Stormers, 4. And Strawberry Racer, 0. And you see on the points difference, 2-0. Iceberg and advances. Leaf Stormers and Strawberry Racer, they're not entirely eliminated. They will go into a face-off, and whoever loses in that will be eliminated. Starting things off with Group B with Brownie and Astro Turtle. And that was a pretty good matchup. Marbles going all over the place, like Leaf Stormers and Iceberg. And it's a draw, 1-1. Good match by them. Now we move on to Neptune versus Colorful Swarm. We are going by this group pretty fast. And you see, cannon marbles are released along with the hammer. You see, we haven't gotten to know these traps. There's the cannon, the ball bearing slides, the scoop, and the hammer. 2-1. Colorful Swarm gets the win. And they're actually going right now against Brownie. And off they go. And that looks like a pretty good matchup. I see 3 brownies right there. Well, I think 2 are still on the board for Colorful Swarm. Let's see what it shakes up to. 3-2. That was good by Brownie. And Colorful Swarm, they have competed in this event in Season 2. Although this is a pretty different setup back then. Oh, one of the Neptune marbles literally went up the ramp. And they're going against Astro Turtle, but I think they have 3 on for them. Is that true? Yes, it is. 2-3. And Astro Turtle so far only has a draw. And now they're up against Colorful Swarm. Can Astro Turtle do anything good? I don't think so. I see 2 Colorful Swarm down there. What will it shake up to? 2 to 3, So there were 1 more for each team than I originally thought. Brownie and Neptune for the final matchup. Neptune trying to get out of the bottom 2. Nearly a full sweep, but I think it's a 2-1 with Brownie getting the win. And yes, they did. Brownie doing a very good job. First time ever competing in Collision. And they get the win. You see, Neptune and Astro Turtle, they will go to a face-off. See the points, win, draw, loss, points for, points against, and points difference. Starting things off with Daredevil and Tennis Ball, and off they go. Cannon Marbles being released. First time we're seeing the ball bearing slides, and I think it knocked off one of the Daredevil marbles. And yes, it did. 1-4. Very good by Tennis Ball. And now, Bumblebee versus Dino. And off they go. And that wasn't a very hard collision, actually. And I see several marbles of each team still on the board. That one Dino, the domino just helping it. And 4-4, a draw. So, despite doing pretty well, it only comes down to a draw, 1 point apiece. Daredevil and Bumblebee. And you see, Cannon Marbles are released. Kind of makes it kind of chaotic. I think this is a 2-1 win for Daredevil, from what I see. And no, 3-2. So they still got the win. Tennis Ball versus Dino. And you see, Tennis Ball did compete in this event in Season 2. Dino did not. And several marbles are falling off. Dino, I think I see 5. I see 5 marbles on the board. And look at this, 1-5. That is phenomenal. That's about as good as you can get. Dino gets the win. Tennis Ball versus Bumblebee, and 1 Cannon Marble was released, but I think this is a draw. We'll have to see. And no, Bumblebee, 3-4, they get the win. And now for the final matchup, Dino versus Daredevil, and hard collisions, and Daredevil nearly coming off, but they stay on. What's the score? I think 3-1. Nope, 3-2. It's at this angle, you can't really see the marbles down at that bottom row. And actually, Daredevil and Dino will advance. Look at Daredevil. They got the win, but their points difference was -1. This group, all in all, was fairly close. Bumblebee versus Lightning Bolt to start the next group, and the final group. And you see barely dislodging that hammer. But I think that isn't going to do much. We haven't seen it do too much chaos. And speaking of chaos, Fruits of Chaos gets the win. Lightning Bolt, Yeti versus Purple Jellyfish. There's a lot of chaos in that match. But I think Purple Jellyfish will get the win. Maybe 4-1? And yeah, 4-2. Purple Jellyfish doing a great job right now. Fruits of Chaos versus Yeti. And that nearly swept off everybody. I see 1 Fruits of Chaos marble on. I don't see 1 for Yeti. Maybe it's hiding somewhere. And yeah, somewhere, but I don't see it. 1-1. Neptune versus... Nope. Lightning Bolt versus Purple Jellyfish. It looks like Neptune, actually. I'm surprised. And once again, many marbles falling off. Purple Jellyfish, I think, gets the win. And 2-3. Lightning Bolt has not been doing a good job. Season 2, Lightning Bolt only got 11th. So, see why they're not doing so well. Can they get a good result versus Yeti? And I don't think so. That did not look the best. And 3-2. So Lightning Bolt will get 0 wins or not even a draw. That's poor. Fruits of Chaos versus Purple Jellyfish for the final match in Group D. Oh, that hammer marble nearly pushing off one of the Fruits of Chaos, but the Fruits of Chaos still hold on. Where will it amount to? 1-3. So Purple Jellyfish winning all matches in their group. 9 points. Look at that, a points difference of 5. And by 1 point on the points difference, Fruits of Chaos advances. Actually, Yeti had more points for, but their points against was just too much. Now into the extra rounds with Leaf Stormers and Strawberry Racer. Whoever loses this matchup will fully be eliminated. And I saw another Strawberry Racer go off that might cost them being eliminated, and it is 4-2. Strawberry Racer has been eliminated, while the Leaf Stormers with Maple will advance. Neptune and Astro Turtle. More marbles being released. This is the most chaotic match we've seen in a while. We haven't seen that much of the chaos. 1-3. Neptune with Triton is eliminated. By the way, for Strawberry Racer, they have Albion, Bumblebee, and Tennis Ball. And that looks like a draw to me. Oh, but one last hammer marble getting released. Oh, that one Tennis Ball desperately trying to hold on, and they will. And I think this is a draw. No, it's not. One Bumblebee is hiding, and Deuce will be eliminated. All right, now for the final extra round, Lightning Bolt and Yeti. How will this go is cannon marbles are being released at the instant. I see 3 up there for Yeti. Lightning Bolt, only 1. Where does that shake up to? 4-1. Lightning Bolt doing pretty awful in this event. And so you see, these are the eliminated marbles. Only 4 this time, but still, it's still an elimination. So Deuce, Albion, Triton, and Shock have been eliminated. 2 reserves and 1 captain being eliminated. And you see, 3 out of the 4 were the bottom 4 from the honeycomb time trial. And that, maybe they were just tired. But 12 have survived. The next event is Tug of War.